What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and we're looking at two fabulous trades today, one to the short side and one to the long side. We have the very first one, we have Walmart for the win. This is from I Find Humorous, posted about 17 hours ago, making a crazy 686% return on his initial investment of about $3,300 and returning that into about $25 to almost $26,000 in a very short period of time. You can see here that he bought the very short-dated calls here on the weeklies that are expiring this Friday, buying the 119 call quantity of 34 for about 97 cents or $97, and again you see that fantastic return there. We're going to be looking here in the charts in a second. Let's go ahead and just jump into the second one, which is the Niccola trade. So this is somewhat similar to what we did, but this individual was literally a day ahead of us in the sense of putting on the Nikola $50 put. We actually had it a little further out, paid a little bit higher premium for it, but we did it on the second. We have a video here I can put smash right on the front of the screen here. Said this was a great, fantastic return, and he actually held it longer than I did as well, so having more cojones than I did. With this moving forward, basically buying the $50 put here, and then a couple days later doing the $40 put here, and then you can see that's how much it cost, $400 and $1,500, so about $1,900, turning that into basically $13,000, $900, just about 4 or 5 days later after these trades really just took off, with Nikola coming pretty substantially down due to a lot of the S1 filings, I believe the proper form is called, where a lot of investors were kind of getting out and selling some of their shares. This kind of really dropped the price in the stock, and now it's kind of bouncing off the 50 simple moving average here in the daily chart. Let's go ahead and just swing over to the chart here real fast. So the first one we're going to look at is the Walmart. So Walmart has been a very interesting stock here without a doubt. Again, hitting a pretty steep high at 420. Anyways, then kind of just consolidating and kind of falling down between the 21 exponential moving average, kind of grinding higher. We had a potential alert if it starts breaking below the 200-day exponential moving average, which is this little line here. This would be a great buying opportunity. It got really interesting just a couple days ago when it started building a squeeze up in around this kind of movement above the 200. So it looks like it wasn't going to go below the 200. With the 5 and 8 starting to curl up, which was very interesting. Still was below the 21. We actually talked about it in the Discord a little bit, on hinting on potentially Walmart activity, in the sense of like, hey, is it too late to get in to Walmart? And that was just, I think it was like halfway into that day where it was like up like $5 in a day, which is insane for a Walmart. Like, we're not talking the technology company, we're talking about Walmart. And the squeeze just really went long. Again, this is a really fantastic trade. Again, the individual bought this, the calls. We can look at that trade tab there to kind of give you a further breakthrough. So he bought the options week, the weeklies for expiring this Friday, and he bought the 119, which are currently in the money for trading for, holy moly, about $7, $7.50. We can send that to the chart here. So you can kind of see here, those options he bought, didn't say the date, did it? It didn't say the date, okay. So he bought them around, it said 97 cents, so it could have been any time on the 2nd, most likely. He bought those for like the 97 cents, potentially. Actually, no, he didn't buy, he must have bought those the day of, or must have been on the 6th, and of course, those 97 cents, or sorry, $97, or the $97 contracts really just took off just yesterday, and then more for today, basically hitting a high of $9.29. So that is pretty a massive move without a doubt, and I'm sure this kid is extremely happy. That is one heck of a call. There was we can look back here at the chart. It took a lot of cojones as well to really play this play out. Again, it's a YOLO play due to the fact of spending $3K on a call option, really betting for it to really skyrocket higher within 2 or 3 days. again, he could have just maybe tried to trade it for 10%, but of course he made much more than 10%, nearly 680% plus on this trade here. Really fantastic. Where could Walmart go from here? So this is interesting. So I'm going to throw out these fibs here. You can kind of see here, it literally, oh, it didn't click. There we go. Sorry, let me get this. Thinkorswim needs to fix that. Again, really bouncing around that 200-day exponential moving average, then taking off with the 5 and 8, crossing through the 20 with this huge explosion of volume, kind of coming in at the 618. So this is a very key level. If this can continue going higher, it needs to close above the $127 for it continue to get potentially back to 130, and its slow grind higher to making all-time highs from there. That being said, to the downside, it's really going to kind of come into the 21 exponential moving average around 121, and then potentially, as we've seen before the past 2 or 3 weeks, that 200-day exponential moving average around 118 to 119 has been a fantastic holding pattern for Walmart to the short to intermediate term. All right, so let's go ahead and then jump to Nikola. So this other individual basically took one heck of a bet like we did. We got a little bit of flack for it. People called me stupid, but that's okay. It doesn't bother me. He basically went short on the first, buying the $50 put that was also expiring this Friday, and of course, being very bearish on this play. It really just came down drastically over the next 2 or 3 days, which we kind of talked about in our video. Again, we didn't short it up here. We actually shorted it right around this area. When it starts crossing through the 21 on the daily side, it really got our attention, potentially with the movement that we're seeing. The volume oscillator wasn't looking like it was going to recover any time. So this is a better diagram if we looked on the 4-hour side of things. So again, looking with that movement that really took it lower, which was last Thursday into Friday, we really saw this really steep movement coming in with the again, with the potential of those investors getting out of those shares and dropping the price drastically to fulfill those orders. And once the 5 and 8 started crossing through the 21, the selling just continued. Kind of went a little blah for a little bit into Thursday. This was this really, I wouldn't say the first shot across the bow, and then it just kind of traded sideways to kind of see what would happen. But then that Thursday, it really kind of really took off, and then that movement really just continued going on to the beginning of this week. Again, Monday, Tuesday were pretty drastic down days, as well with the following trading days. But now we're kind of seeing a potential recovery here. I want to call it a recovery, honestly. It's the wrong word to use. It's potentially could just kind of be seeking a short-term bottom. So again, we're going to tie it back to the trade here on the 50-day exponential moving average, looking for some ongoing support here. It did make a pretty sharp bounce up here, but now it's kind of hitting the 34, so it really needs to kind of break above like the $52 level. And since the damage is kind of in place a little bit with the 5 and 8 crossing through those 21s, it really needs to stop having those pointing to the ground and start curling sideways and trying to build a base here. Building a base meaning like the next 3 to 4 days we can kind of just be trading sideways, kind of consolidate and figure out if the bleeding has stopped. The volume oscillator as well with the RSI is kind of curling up a little bit here, which is a great sign potentially to have this stop bleeding, but there's still has been a lot of damage done from this pretty large downtick over those couple days. So just be mindful that we could be just trading sideways for a little bit and then kind of reassess things, and it could continue going down, or it can kind of build a base and slowly start grind higher. I don't know. I'm just going to have to look at the charts, and we'll just have to go from there. Guys, I hope this was fantastic. I hope you learned something. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. Just got an alert here for PR. Okay, need to check that out. If you just go ahead and check out our Discord, fantastic stuff. We always talk about great things. From live market trading to different trades, things like that. But we'll see what happens with the coming day. That being said, we'll see you guys in the next video, and definitely check out the Patreon page as well. And we'll have a live stream on Sunday, probably around 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Again, guys, signing off here. Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. Catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.